and this is the official launch of Rise, a season celebrating stories, work, achievements of extraordinary and inspirational women through culture. A programme that covers art, such as that you see behind us, America. My breath is taken away by the beauty of these pictures. Many people won't know that in my day job I manage 2 of the Shore Start Centres in the city, and I work in Picton and Kensington wards, where we have a huge group of women who are refugee and asylum seekers. And what really took my breath away this morning was that those images resonate with the faces that I've seen on women I work with when they tell their story of how they've ended up here in the city, and that's so powerful and really moving for me. But it's also a season that covers music. We've got the Lymph Festival coming up, and I personally am massively excited because I've got my tickets to see Sister Sledge and I can't wait. I love to dance and I'm going to be out there raving. I'm just so thrilled about that. It's a celebration of thought, of written word, of conversations, and how amazing to have the Netball World Cup coming to Liverpool, the biggest sporting event that covers Liverpool. It's just fantastic. I'm thrilled. And I say the official launch because last week we had the 209 Women exhibition open at Open Eye Gallery, and that's an exhibition of photographs of 209 women politicians, photographs taken by women. And Open Eye actually approached Liverpool City Council when they wanted to bring that to the city, and it was a donation from Liverpool City Council that enabled them to start fundraising and working to bring that here into Liverpool. And so I'm really proud that we played a part in bringing that here. It's an amazing exhibition, and if you get the chance, please go along and see it. It means a lot for me because some of my personal friends are there on those photographs, and it was lovely to see them in an environment that you don't normally see them, real women doing a job that they get, let's be honest, they get slated for on a daily basis through social media. So it was lovely to see the beauty of their personalities shine through. It's fantastic. And it's particularly significant that we're opening this on International Women's Day, a day that allows us to celebrate inspirational women and how far we've come, a day that celebrates gender parity and equality, a day that, gives us the opportunity to reflect and refocus on what we can collectively do and individually do to make sure that we strive to bring women up with us and to rise with us, which is what today is all about. It's personally very relevant for me for International Women's Day because I grew up in an environment where equality didn't really mean that much to me. I was surrounded by an eclectic group of hippies through my childhood that were really strong women. They were there at Greenham Common. We had Chilean refugees living with us in the 70s, and I had women that raised me to believe that if I wanted to achieve something, I could. And it wasn't until I went out into the world of work that I realised that the world operated in a very different way. And when I worked in a bar at 17 years of age, and a man in a business suit came in and put his hand on me and told me that he could buy me if he wanted to, that was when something started to go off in my head, that maybe the world didn't function in the way that I thought it would. And when I had a job interview on the railway, and they actually asked me in the interview whether this was a stopgap until I had babies. And it was only then that I realised how much of a fight that we actually had on as women to be recognised in the world, and to how much we needed to do ourselves to make sure that we play our part in bringing women up with us. I had the privilege of being part of cohort 1 of the Jo Cox Women in Political Leadership programme. I never thought I was going to be a politician. I was a community activist that believed in having a voice for those that didn't have one. So how I've ended up here on Cabinet and doing speeches like this 3 years after being elected when I never thought I would is just quite astounding for me. But I've got 57 women in a WhatsApp group that I worked with that have my back every day. And that's what we need to be doing as a city for the women that live here, that work here, bringing them forward and making sure that we have their backs. And that's why I lead on City Conversation for Liverpool. And in my cabinet role, I'm part of the programme to transform the way that as a council we work with our residents and our communities and our neighbourhoods. So yesterday I hosted a women's city conversation where women from across the city had been nominated by their elected members to come and have a conversation with me about how we can change the way that we work and what really matters to women in the city. And that's something that we're really proud to lead on and to strive for. We know that austerity impacts on women more than it does on anybody else, whether that's through trying to feed their families, low-paid jobs which tend to be caring roles, women who are struggling to access food, sanitary products, women fleeing domestic violence, and we know that 75% of local authorities have cut their budgets for domestic abuse refuges by over 25%. The odds are stacked against us. The odds are stacked against women like this, who live with the impact of violence in communities. And it's really, really important that we are doing what we can as a council to bring those women forward, to support people and to make sure that collectively we're strong. We are a council that has over 50% women elected members. We're a council that has 2 female deputy mayors. We're a council that has 50% of its cabinet members are women. We have women in senior leadership. We've got so many women here from culture today who are all doing their bit for us as a council, and that makes me really proud. We're focusing on what's strong instead of what's wrong, and that's something that we should all be really keen to move forward. So I was in a room yesterday with women who are doers, a room of women who are passionate about their neighbourhoods and communities, passionate about making a difference every day in the work that they do, a room of genuinely inspiring women, and it was an absolute honour for me. I said the list of challenges for us all goes on, and it does. However, Liverpool is a city with a history of thriving, not surviving. We're a city of poets, a city of musicians, a city of artists, a city of scientists, a city of leaders. We're a city of creativity and generosity and humour. A city that I know will today and every day answer our call to rise with us. So thank you for all being here today. I'm honoured to open today's event.
It's an absolute privilege, as has just been said, to be here today, particularly in the shadow of this absolutely beautiful work, which I think we'll all agree is really quite moving and totally stunning. It's been a privilege for Alicia and I to work on this programme with a fantastic team back at Culture Liverpool, and to be given the opportunity to showcase some of the incredible work that always happens in this city by a lot of the women in this city, but also to look further afield and bring women to the city nationally and internationally. I'm going to very quickly just go down some of the events we've got. I can't cover all of them, I'm afraid, because we don't have time, but we're working with Dot Art on a lovely exhibition called The Female Gaze, which is in Castle Street at the moment. It's a new exhibition which showcases the work of 3 women artists, depicting women in their work and capturing and exploring identity. We're working with Fact on the Erica Beckman and Mariana Simnett exhibition, which I highly recommend. We've got a great relationship with Open Eye Gallery, both from the 209 Women exhibition, but also their programme with 3 other exhibitions during the year with us. We've commissioned a lovely Polish artist called Jolart, who's going to bring a new piece of work to the city on a large scale of street drawings and paintings. And we're also bringing the April Ashley Archive to life. April was a trans pioneer, model and actress, and she very generously donated her archive to the city last year, and we're very proud to be able to support a small exhibition which enables people to learn about her life. And that will be at Central Library. This programme is hopefully meant to inspire and empower, and I think the women in this programme have been doing that all their lives. And to really hammer that home, we've programmed some how to be events. How to be a songwriter is our first event next week, and we're absolutely delighted to have Carla Maria Williams in the city. She's Grammy nominated, award-winning songwriter who's written songs for Beyonce, Lemonade, Craig David, Girls Aloud, Kendrick Lamar, and she's coming to Liverpool to work with 90 young women across the city for 6 hours, sharing her life and also creating music with them. On another slightly bizarre note, we're looking at how to be a spy. How many women are spies? You wouldn't know, would you? I'd probably be killed if I told you. But Dame Stella Rimington, who's a well-known author and also was head of MI5, is coming as part of the first Women exhibition, and she's going to do an audience with and share her life in what predominantly, I think, is a male-dominated industry, but I don't know. Claire Boulding is coming up as part of our Netball World Cup celebrations, and she's going to share her life in broadcasting and hopefully inspire young women to be a broadcaster. And we're very delighted that our own Camilla Mancavedi is going to do a how to be a newsroom journalist, talking about her previous career before she came as Director of Communications in the newsrooms of ITN and national news. Well, we wouldn't be Liverpool without music, so obviously we have Disco Classical bringing Sister Sledge as part of Lymph, which is incredible. We're also working with Cispus and Kitchen Street on a programme of new electronic women's music, and we're bringing over a collective from New York who we're very excited about, who are going to be sharing their work with young Liverpool women. The Banging Pans project is part of the programme, and they're inspiring women to be both musicians but also work behind the scenes as technicians, sound technicians. And again, as part of our How To Be section, we've got award winner and Oscar winner Nina Hartson coming up, who recently won an Oscar as sound technician on Bohemian Rhapsody. And she's going to talk about her work on an Oscar-winning film. Children and literature. We have the Children's Festival Reading and Maths, and there are dozens of programmed artists across the city who will be doing storytelling with young children. And we're also working with Scalarama on their film festival. They have a 58% campaign where they're aiming to programme 58% of their films directed by women. And we have the RISE responses. Lizzie Nunnery and Almanac have programmed 10 exciting artists, most from Liverpool, who will take part in the programme and will respond to some of these incredible events. We've also got some events that we can't let you know about now, they're under wraps, but we have an incredible out-of-this-world How To Be event as part of the Ribble Festival, which you'll find out more about soon. And we also have some new art commissions. This is funded, a lot of this work, by the Arts Council and by Liverpool City Council, and we want to give money towards women so that they can create things that otherwise they wouldn't feel they were able to do. So as part of some of our big events like the River Festival, you're going to see some incredible public art. I just want to say thank you, and on behalf of Alicia and Claire and the rest of Culture Liverpool, to all the artists that are taking part in this programme, to all the organisations that have come forward. I can't name them all, but thank you all so much. And especially to everybody that's come today and ask you to rise with us and take part in the programme, help promote it, come to the events, and I do hope you enjoy the season. I'd now like to introduce Sue, who's the Dean of the Cathedral.
Good morning, and a very warm welcome to Liverpool Cathedral for the launch of RISE. The exhibition that is behind me has already caused a lot of conversation. It's been here or been installed since Wednesday, and of course for us it was Ash Wednesday, and it was so poignant to have it here for our evening service. And yesterday the Archbishop of York was here to launch a mission, and a lot of people from across the diocese were here and saw the exhibition and have made very positive and questions about how we need to keep on the agenda the issue of peace and respect. Liverpool Cathedral, we believe, is a place of encounter, and exhibiting artwork in this magnificent place helps people encounter various artists and different cultures. It is so moving to encounter these pictures of so many women who bear the hurt and the pain of violence in one particular country, but representing the pain of and hurt of many women throughout the generations. This cathedral, from the very beginning, has honoured the role of women. We have what is known as the Noble Women's Windows in what is called the Lady Chapel, where the Mother's Day project is also hosting an installation today. There are 20 women remembered and celebrated for their work to bring a better world to Liverpool and beyond. Many of you will know women like Josephine Butler, Kitty Wilkinson and Elizabeth Fry, all remembered in those windows. They are women who knew hardship and suffering. They are women whose legacy is about education, empowering and inspiring. But it is amazing to think that men at the turn of the last century respected and saw the importance of recognising the work of these women at a time when women had very little influence. I am the first female dean of this cathedral, and it has been an honour and a privilege to come here to Liverpool and to be part of the community, both in the cathedral and in the city. I have so enjoyed working with partner organisations like Liverpool Culture and the Mother's Day project. And I thank you and Erica for this thought-provoking exhibition. and for reminding us that we still have work to do to bring justice and peace to the world. Thank you.
Hola, buenos días. I'm going to talk about sudarios. I'm just going to try to read something I've been writing these days. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Sudarios is a work composed of the testimonies of 20 women who were subjected by different groups in the middle of the Colombian armed conflict to innumerable atrocities, of which I'm going to name only one, maybe the worst: to have witnessed the torture and death of their loved ones. With the clarity, courage, and dignity that only those who have lost everything know, they told me their testimony so that I could capture it in these images, so that they will be seen, felt, and immortalized forever. I know the complete history of each one of them, each little detail of horror that they were subjected to, each of those infernal seconds that would escape the understanding of any human being who has not lived it. They, mothers, wives, sisters, grandmothers, daughters, know that being alive and remembering is their condemnation. They also have clear that their presence, their faces, their words, their whole life are the testimony no longer of their existence, but of the death of their loved ones. Only those who love are capable of mourning. Only the one who loves decides to continue living, because his death would imply the oblivion of those whom violence was unfairly taken. Only love can dare to remember and witness regardless of the pain or the danger that this entails. The images of the faces that descend today in this sacred space are loaded not only with the pain of the testimonies of these women, but with the pain of my country, Colombia, which continues, despite of all the efforts, with the duty to recognize, dignify, and cry their death. By making us look up, we are transforming from spectators to witnesses of their tragedy. When we lower our gaze, we come into contact with our own pains. We hear the echo of our own dead, and this is how we face mourning, where our differences are blurred and where our humanity reminds us that we are part of a whole. I want to acknowledge the city, for me personified in the voice of Bebe Rier, Sarah Bassi, Alicia Kupal, the very Reverend Dean of Liverpool, Sue Jones, and the community she represents. Lucy, I will not pronounce your last name, sorry, it's too difficult. Sarah Black, Esther Wilson, Laura Campbell, and Andy Frassell of Mother's Day Project. I want to thank Maria Adelaida Borges, art conservator and restorer, and to each one of the people who made this exhibition possible. Today, Sudarios continue to be, thanks to all of you, testimonies of the lives lost, of the injustice, of the violence, but above all, they are testimonies of strength, resistance, and dignity that each one of the women present are. So, last but not least, I want to thank a very loving and caring man that is amazing enough to help me with all these processes. Joseph, thank you for your unconditional love.